हरे कृष्णा। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी, यशोधनंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यशोधनंदन व्रज जनरंजन, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, यमुना तीरावनचारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Ram. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jaya Gurudeva, Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Gaur Hari Bo. ताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकय चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। आप सबका स्वागत है आज के भी सेशन में। तो आज हम पहले करेंगे ईशोपनिषद का रीडिंग, मंत्र चैंटिंग। श्री ईशोपनिषद मंगलाचरण। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगत्यां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा कृतः कस्य जिजीविशेषतं समाह एवं त्वयि नान्यथेत्वस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। असूर्यानाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तांस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्महनो जनाः। अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नैनदेव आप्नुवं पूर्णमर्षत् तद्धावतो अन्यनत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा ददाति। तद्देजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तदवन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वास्यस्य बाह्यतः। यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्य आत्मन्यवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते। यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्य एवात्मभूतिविजानतः तत्र को मोहः कः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः। सपर्यागा शुक्रमकाय अवर्णम् अस्नावीरं शुद्धमपापविद्धं कविर्मनीषी परिभू स्वयंभू याथा तथ्यतु अर्थान् व्यदधा शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्ययः। अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य उ विद्ययामृताः। अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्याया मृत्युं त्यक्त्वा विद्ययामृतमश्नुते अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये सम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो य उ सम्भूत्यात्मताः अन्यदाहु अन्यदेवाहु संभवाद अन्यदाहुरसंभवाद इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं त्रित्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन्नम् अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये पूषन्निकर्षेयं सूर्यप्राजापत्य व्यूयः रश्मिन् समूह तेजो यत्ते रूपं कल्याणतमं तत्ते पश्यामि यो सावसो पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि वायुरनीलम् अमृतम् अथेदं भस्मान्तं शरीरम् ॐ क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर अग्नेनय सुपथाराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् योद्धास्माजुहुराणम् एनो भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम ॐ तत्सत्. Okay, so we were doing mantra 5. So mantra 4, as we can go to the flow of the verses here, you can see. So we learnt about the laws of God or absolute truth, and we have to live in the harmony. That is, we are seeing from invocation to mantra number 3. And last session, Saturday, Sunday, we discussed about 4 and 5 mantra. So there we saw Mahabhagavad spiritual vision. So we saw all the contradictions and how they can be resolved only in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They cannot be solved materially. They have to be seen with a proper understanding from acharyas, from shastras. So achint and atarka. Achint means inconceivable. Atarka means without argument. So Lord is beyond our logics and he is beyond our understanding. So this we saw in mantra 4. Mantra 5 mainly discuss about contradiction. Taddejati, tannejati, taddure, tadavantike. So that we saw. And mantra 4 also specifically talks about difference between Lord and other demigods also. That they are never equal to the Lord or absolute truth. They're never equal. Even though they may run with very high speed, they cannot catch the Lord. It's not that Lord is running. Lord is still at one place. Still they cannot catch him. And if Lord is running, then he can run even with the speed more than the mind also. Swifter than the mind. So that we saw. 4th and 5th verse. Now, today and tomorrow, we'll be seeing mantra 6, 7, and 8. So today we'll be discussing 6th and 7th also. So Atmanne and Ekatvam, Anupashyatah, developing an equal vision to see everything in relation to the Lord. That is mantra 6 and 7. Mantra 6 is talking same thing, Anupashyatah, Ekatvam Anupashyatah. An expansion of that same is given in mantra 7 also. So they are together. And then 8th mantra, which we'll be discussing tomorrow, attaining the Lord who has divine qualities. The Lord has no material qualities. Already we discussed he's a Nirguna, but he's also Saguna. So Saguna, what are his good qualities? That will be discussing, and how he's not, how is a Nirguna, that also will be discussed. Okay. So now we'll proceed ahead. Yastu sarvani bhutanya atmanyeva evanupashyati sarva bhuteshu chatmanam tato na bijugupsate. So we can see the meaning of the words. Sarvani means all, bhutani living entities, atmanne in relation to the Supreme. This is very, very important, which this sixth and seventh verse, they are focusing upon this. You have to see oneness of everything and everyone, living and non-living, everything with the Supreme Lord. In relation to the Supreme Lord, we have to see. So, Atmani, this is important. Eva, only. Anupashyati, object, observes in a systematic way. Or observes with a knowledge. Sarva bhuteshu, in every living being. Cha atmanam, the super soul, tatah, thereafter, na bijugupsate, hates anyone. So then some translation is, he who systematically sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord, who sees all living entities as his parts and parcels, and who sees the Supreme Lord within everything, never hates anything or any being. So this is very, very important. Seeing everything in relation with the Lord, everything, and then seeing every living entity as part and parcel, and then seeing Supreme Lord within everything. Three things I've spoken. Everything should be seen in relation with the Lord, and living entity should be seen as a part and parcel, and Lord is in everything also. Then he never hates anything or any being, because this is very, very important. Krishna also says the quality of his devotee is that Adveshta Sarva Bhutanam. So he says in 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, they should be non-envious, because envy or harshness is a quality of demons. So Krishna says that should not be there for practicing devotees or any spiritualist. So this is a vision of Mahabhagavad. Okay. So if you see the first three paragraphs are simply talking about three adhikaris. This first three paragraph in this mantra, Prabhupada talks about three adhikaris, three kinds of devotees. So, okay, we'll start reading from here. Harsh Prasannatma Prabhu is there.
Yes, Prabhu.
Can you read from here?
This is a description of the Mahabhagavad, the great personality who sees everything in relation to the Supreme Personality of God. The Supreme Lord's presence is realized in three stages. Kanishta Adhikari is the lowest stage of realization. He goes to a place of worship such as a temple, church, or mosque according to his religious faith, and worships there according to scriptural injunctions. Devotees in stage consider the Lord to be present at the place of worship and nowhere else. They cannot ascertain who is in what position in devotional service, nor can they tell who has realized the Supreme Lord. Such devotees follow the routine formulas and sometimes quarrel among themselves, considering one type of devotion better than other. The Kanishta Adhikaris are actually materialistic devotees who are simply trying to transcend the material boundaries to reach the spiritual plane.
Okay. So there are some qualities are given here of Kanishtadhikari. Srila Prabhupada used to say, or Bhagavatam also says, that they are materialistic devotees. Materialistic devotees. They are trying to transcend the boundary of or material boundary to reach the spiritual plane. They have not transcended, they are trying to do it. So they are in the preliminary phase of bhakti, and they have to really tackle a lot. Material things come in their life. It's okay. So we'll see the verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Archayame Hare. This is verse 11.2.47. Archayame Hare Pujam Yah Sraddhaye Hate Na Tad Bhaktesu Chanyeshu Sa Bhaktah Prakritah Smritah. So this is a devotee, Prabhupada says lowest category, or the the third category devotee. A devotee who faithfully engages in the worship of deity, Archayam Eva Hare, but does not behave properly towards other devotees or people in general, is called a Prakrit Bhakta or a materialistic devotee and is considered to be in the lowest position. So very clearly mentioned that they simply see the Lord in the temple. They don't see Lord elsewhere. So, so Archayam Eva Hare, Puja. So they do puja with Shraddha, only for the deities. Yes. As we know that Lord is everywhere, the Paramatma is all pervading. That we saw in previous verses. But now he is not able to see. He is only seeing Lord in the temple and in the deity. And therefore, Natat Bhakteshu Chanyesu. But he is not able to behave properly with bhakta of the Lord. And therefore, we saw last mantra that Mayavadi, they keep on arguing with the personalist that why you are worshipping deities in the temple, because Lord is everywhere. And even Kapil Muni says ki the worship of the deities with this idea that Lord is only in the temple is useless, because your behavior with other living entity is very cruel behavior, very obnoxious behavior. We are mistreating them, thinking that I am a pujari or I am a Brahman or I am worshipping Lord, and others they don't know anything. So I have superior position. So you are not behaving properly. So Kapil Muni says, what is the use of such worship? So then Mayavadi take this verse and then they start uh, arguing with the devotees or personalists that why you are worshipping. They see Lord is saying, but we saw the Acharya commentary that it was spoken to teach the neophyte devotee that they have to expand their vision. Simply don't keep the Lord in the temple, but also behave properly with the devotees. So this is the first thing. Okay. So we'll be seeing the characteristics of these in the slides I will just share. So Mantra 5 describes some qualities of the Lord, including his presence, um, including the presence, wins all the things. Yes. Mantra 6 describes the person who has capacity to factually appreciate the Lord and seeing him in all beings. Okay, let us go ahead. This will come and discuss later. Okay, what we discussed just now, we'll see the Kanishtadhikari. He's in the lowest stage of bhakti. He goes to temple and nowhere else. See, Kanishta is very special also. He's not to be disregarded also. He has full faith that I will worship Krishna. He will not go to demigods. That is one of the special thing. He will follow Shastra, but still he fights with other devotees and people because he is not fully convinced. He has not read scripture. He is still into materialistic, but he has somehow he has heard from a spiritual master, so he has faith that I will worship Krishna. He's not like outsiders like demigod worshippers. He's superior to them. He's superior to even Gyanis also, because Gyanis have not taken to bhakti. Even though they may be detached, in degree of detachment they are higher. But when it comes to bhakti, he's superior to them. So he cannot ascertain others' position. And he follows the routine. But he quarrels also, because others are not following, then he judges. Okay, he is not following. So and therefore he is called materialistic devotee. So we'll go ahead. Okay, this we'll discuss later. While giving instruction to Sanatan Goswami, the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided devotional service into three categories based on the Shraddha. Shraddhavan jana hai bhakti adhikari uttama madhyama kanishta Shraddha anusari. So these three categories of devotees are according to Shraddha. Shraddha in what? Shraddha in devotional service, Shraddha in Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's okay. In short, Kanishta, Srila Prabhupada describes this also. Harinam initiated in if you see in the ISKCON society, Kanishta, in Harinam initiated trying to chant, and Madhyama, Brahman initiated fully engaged in Seva, and Uttama means very advanced in Krishna consciousness, not interested in blaspheming others, heart completely clean. Now it should be like that. Like we again cannot totally say like who is a Brahman initiated and also fully engaged in seva. He has to be also on the platform of Brahmanas. So he has to practice. Like the spiritual master says that, Guru says that after Brahman initiation does not mean you have to do nothing. You have to live like the earlier person. No, you have to live with the qualities of Brahmanas. So we'll see more further qualities. So Prakrit Bhakta, materialistic devotee, he does not purposefully study the Shastra, does not try to understand the actual standard of pure devotional service. He has so many things to do, but he has taken, okay, I will worship Krishna. Does not show proper respect to advanced devotees. He may, however, follow the regulatory principles learned from the spiritual master and from his family who worship the deity. See, this is that's why this verse Archayam eva hare, Sadhayan hate, and then Natat Bhakteshu Chanyeshu. So there it is mentioned Natat Bhakteshu, very important. So he does not know who is advanced devotee and how to, what are the parameters to check and how we have to offer them respect. He does not know. Therefore, he commits offenses also. But he is then advancing because he is chanting the holy name. This is important. He is following the regulatory principle learned from the spiritual master. This is a connection. Even though he may not be connected much with the Shastra, but his faith is coming from hearing from the spiritual, some Guru, Vaishnava Guru. And he is called Bhakta Praya. Matlab Bhakt Praya, matlab he is about to, he is like a Bhakt, about to be Bhakta. Just Bhakta Praya. Trying to advance. Okay. So these are the more characteristics. He mistakes material expertise to be advancement in bhakti. Somebody is having more number of followers. Some devotees are very beautiful devotees. So then they say, okay, devotee means you become beautiful. Some devotees are rich devotees. So then he may say, oh, if I take to bhakti, I will become rich. So this kind of misconception are there. Okay, if I become devotee, I will be able to preach so many people. I will be able to influence. Then I will get a higher post in ISKCON society. So like that, he has certain kind of material goals also. Archana versus Bhajan. What he does, Archana. Archana means simply doing like you do 4 and then 2 and then 3 and then 7 and like that we keep on doing Arti. So Bhajan means what? He has understood what is holy name. His attachment to holy name is there. His attachment to Shastras are there. And he is committed to devotional service. That is Bhajan. But he's Archana. He's simply doing Archana. Okay. I have to do, my time is there. Okay, let me do Archana. So not much having deep commitment. So that is, he does basically Archana. He is conscious of only deity in the temple. Only deity is conscious. If like it is said in the Vaishnava etiquette, if some devotee comes on the door and we are worshipping the deities and there is nobody in the house to receive that devotee, we should stop deity worship and we should go and receive that devotee. Just see what is the etiquette. But this person will think, oh, I'm worshipping deity. Why I should stop? Let me finish it fully and then I will look for somebody. Yes, like in temple, somebody goes and pujari is worshipping. So he cannot be always be seeing, okay, who's coming, because in temple is a place where people keep on coming. But it has to be practically applied also properly. And there has to be some devotee to receive the guest. So both principle has to be followed. But he is more conscious of deities. thinks high of himself. Bhakti atmano hi darpata. Atmano hi darpata means darpan matlab sisa. So whatever he practices, he thinks it is the highest devotional service, and others are practicing lower devotional service or lesser devotional service. I am practicing the highest devotional service. So he thinks high of himself for anything. And then disturbed if the Madhyama devotee criticizes them. Like some Mayavadis, if Madhyam devotee criticizes or materialist he criticizes, and then this person thinks, "Arey, this Mayavadi or this materialist whom you are criticizing, at least he is very humble, at least he is very polite, at least he is a gentleman. And what about devotees? Huh? They are not polite. Sometimes they are very harsh. Huh? Sometimes they're so greedy for eating prasadam. At least that person I have seen, he has sense control. These devotees are so greedy. So then, in this way, he keeps on discriminating between non-devotees and devotees. But he does not know that devotees are struggling to advance in devotional service. So their struggle is in relation to Krishna. And this materialistic, he has a struggle in relation to his sense gratification only, or so-called manodharma, whatever he is following in his life. So even the devotees are struggling, but they're superior, but he does not know. Like one time, one person said to me, "What you all devotees are?" He had come to Vada, this person, GEV. So he had gone out for purchasing something. So in that one auto took all the devotees, and then he also boarded the auto. And then they went to the market, and then this devotee spent a lot of time in purchasing mango and eating mango, and this person was really furious. He's wasting my time. And then after eating mango, purchasing mango, he was really, this auto is for every one of us, not for you only. Eh? And what kind of devotee you are, wasting my time? And then they all came back. So this person keeps on saying the same thing. You devotees, you don't value time. No? You just waste others' time. There can be, yes, problems are there. Huh? But what have we done? He has taken shelter of Lord Sri Krishna. So I told, you see, even though some problems are there, who will save you? If some problems are there, who will save you? With you, some problems are nobody. But if some problems are there with him, Krishna will save him. So don't criticize him. Otherwise, Krishna is there behind him. So you should also take shelter of Krishna. And these non-Kanishtadikari, they often demigods also. They say, "Oh, my deity is superior, my Krishna is superior. What is demigod?" So when we say that demigod should not worship is not required, so they take in a other way. I don't respect demigod only. I respect only Krishna, and in the temple, that only. That's all. So they offend demigod. They don't appreciate paraphernalia of the Lord also, like devotees and other paraphernalia, Tulsi Maharani, other things. Okay. Typically, the Kanishtadikari is eager to engage in materialistic qualification in service of the Lord, mistaking such material expertise to be the sign of advanced devotion. So as we discussed. Even such Kanishtadikari can help ordinary living entity by their association, since at least Kanishtadikari have faith that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Actually, these Kanishtadikari don't think that they cannot preach. They can also preach, and they can also bring many devotees because their faith is in Krishna. But they may be fanatic. That is one thing, and that may do some garbad. But that can be again repaired by advanced devotee. But they are also a good medium for preaching. Actually, they can also preach because they have complete faith. Now, okay, I will preach now. I will preach about Krishna. So whatever they hear, they immediately speak. Okay. But by continuing to serve the Supreme Lord and the devotees engaged in propagating the Lord's mission, the Kanishtadikari also advances in realization and comes to the stage of dedicating his activities to helping more advanced Vaishnavas. In this way, he advances. So when Kanishta starts associating with Madhyama, then his advancement is faster. He's worshipping the deities, but then when he associates with the Madhyama, he understands I have to respect devotees, I have to understand who is devotee, who is non-devotees, I have to read Shastras, and other things. So, and then he will increase his commitment to the process of bhakti. So in this way, he will advance actually. Okay, done.
Just one quick question. Where he gets all these ideas from? I mean, the deities only the temple. Where he gets these ideas from? The Kanishadikaris.
See, when we hear first time that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, He is everything for us. So then he must be suffering from so many problems in his life. And when he comes to know Krishna is everything, and then with all logics he hears from the spiritual master, that how Krishna is supreme, how Krishna is very favorable to his devotees. So because he has not served sufficient time to his advanced devotees like Madhyam Adhikari or Uttam Adhikari, so therefore the real knowledge will not dawn in him. So he will be continuing with the superficial understanding of bhakti. He will continue. Every one of us. We also had the days where, or even we are in those days also. I don't think that, okay, at least I am also neophyte. So then we cannot get out of it unless we serve devotees, unless we follow the process of devotional service. These things will come in us. We also do many times quarrel. We also do. We sometimes also understand, okay, material qualification. Okay, somebody is IIT and so he's preaching a lot. So therefore, when I will also have higher material qualification, I will also preach a lot. So sometimes we also have this kind of misconceptions. Oh, more followers means this guru is better than this guru. He's preaching to so many and able to influence. So therefore, he is more advanced spiritual master than this. He has no disciple or some very few disciples. So these kind of neophyte thinkings are there, and we have to eradicate. These things are coming because of material association, which we have taken from many life forms and different life forms and many innumerable births we have carried on. So these are all material things basically. Therefore, he is called materialistic devotee, prakrita. And you find that Sahajiya is also the same thing. Sahajiya. So we'll discuss that also. About. Let us go ahead. Okay, na?
Thank you, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, this we discussed. We'll go ahead. According to Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, the inability of the Kanishta Adhikari to appreciate the Lord's devotee entourage and paraphernalia indicate that such a materialistic Vaishnava is still affected by speculative understanding of Karmavadis and Mayavadis, those who are dedicated to sense gratification and impersonal speculation about the absolute. It means he has tinge or material tinge of impersonal speculation, and also Karmavadis means Karmakandis. Means karmavad jnana means it is said that anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anamritam. So he has the material tinge of jnana and karma. So therefore he is behaving in such a way. And you find like now impersonalist. Now impersonalist.
We are not able to hear you clearly.
Huh? You are not able to see? Hare Krishna.
You're clear, Prabhuji. I think problem could be with Mataji's.
It's okay, Prabhu.
Okay. So, see, impersonalist, they can, if they have certain tendency, like if they got some association of pure devotees, so then they are in the process of becoming devotees. Okay. But now he was impersonalist before, so some impersonalistic idea carries with him. And now it depends upon the person how much strong impersonalist he was. Otherwise, we will see as our this discussion goes ahead that every one of us have some. Every one of us, we want to remain in seclusion. We don't want to serve, and we want to think ourselves greater. We want to have the idea of Godhood. So these are all impersonalistic ideas that are there with us. So somebody is very pakka in impersonalism. So then for him to become devotee is little difficult. He requires very advanced preacher to make him devotee. So these Kanishta Adhikari also have these kind of tendencies. Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda. And you find the Sahajiyas as very clearly. Sahajiyas means they wear the dress of gopis and they say that we are Krishna's gopi. So basically, they have a tendency for material enjoyment, and they are basically thinking that Krishna, they are bringing Krishna to this material platform. That just by behaving the way gopis are behaving with Krishna, I can also enjoy. So their whole concentration is to enjoy themselves. They are not trying to give enjoyment to Krishna, but they're thinking that they are gopis and they try to enjoy their own senses, keeping Krishna. Like that. Okay, Archana and Bhajan we discussed. Now we'll go to the intermediate devotee. We'll read now from there. Okay, Kishore Madhav, can you read?
Yes, B. Qualities of Madhyam Adhikari. Those who have attained the second stage of realizations are called Madhyam Adhikaris. These devotees observe distinctions between four categories of being: the Supreme Lord, uh, the devotees of the Lord, the innocent and who have no knowledge of the Lord, and fourth, the atheists who have no faith in the Lord and hate those in devotional services. The Madhyam Adhikari behaves differently towards these four classes of people. He adores the Lord, considering him the object of love. He makes friends with those who are in devotional services. He tries to awaken the dormant love of God in the heart of innocent, and he avoids the atheist who deride the very name of Lord.
Four kinds of people. Or his behavior is divided into four ways. So this is a verse. Again, 11 canto, 2nd chapter, 46 verse. Ishware tadadineshu baliseshu disastu cha prema maitri kripopeksha yah karoti samadhyamaha. Four things. Ishwara. Ishwar means Lord, Supreme Lord. Tadadineshu means who are adhin or who are subordinate to the Lord, means devotees. Baliseshu means those who are very innocent people, and Disastu means atheist people, those who are do irsha with the Lord. So they are atheist people. So these four kind of behavior are seen. So with Ishwara he shows prema. With Ishwara he shows prema. With Tadadineshu he shows maitri, means relationship, friendship. Baliseshu, with Baliseshu he says kripa, and Dvisastu he says he shows upeksha. Upeksha means he does not preaches to them. He remains at a distance from them, because if he goes more near, then they will become more angry, and then they may offend the devotee, other devotees, or they may offend the Lord. So therefore he maintains distance from Dvisastu, and Baliseshu he preaches to them. So this is a proper stage of devotional service in this world actually. Means here we all have to come at least to this stage. See, Kanistha is still in material world, and Uttama, he is gone. I mean, he is in spiritual world, he is conscious fully, and Madhyama is both. He can see everything in connection with the Lord. He can connect everything in connection, and this is what is wanting. Actually, this whole verse for all of us how to practice, we will have to see in this stage. We cannot follow this 6th and 7th verse in Kanishta stage. No, we have to come at least to the Madhyama stage to understand and follow this. Okay. So an intermediate or second class devotee called Madhyam Adhikari offers his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is a sincere friend to all the devotees of the Lord, and shows mercy to ignorant people who are innocent, and disregards those who are envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There are four kinds of behaviors are shown. It's okay. Simple thing like so all of us, like Srila Prabhupada used to say, unless Srila Prabhupada was very much focusing on preaching because of this. Because without preaching, means this is a direct statement from Prabhupada's lecture. Many people may judge about it, but without preaching, nobody can come to Madhyama stage. Now somebody can say, why? Somebody Pujari is worshipping the deity, can he not? No, he may come or may not come, but this is a very suitable path, because then we will be acting like a Madhyamadikari. And when we start acting, then one day we'll become actor, proper Madhyamadikari. Now for Madhyamadikari, for Kanishta Adhikari to come to the Madhyama stage, he has to associate with Madhyama devotee, and he has to listen how to preach, whom to preach, how to develop love for the Lord. So therefore all the classes in Bhagavatam, in our in brahmachari class, or in our yatras, or any kind of counselor meetings also, these are all to give us knowledge how to refine our devotional service. Whatever stage we are, we have to go ahead. So Madhyam Adhikari, he is basically recognized by these four qualities. He is a sincere friend to all the devotees of the Lord. So now just see, first what was said for Kanishta, Natat Bhakteshu Chanyeshu. He did not know how to behave with the devotees. Now here it is said, he is a sincere friend, means he knows how to behave with the devotees. He makes friendship with them. So many times we may think, okay, is it important to make friendship with the devotees? But then we have to see, if I want to be at this stage, then what I have to do. Because if you don't make friendship with devotees, then some friendship will keep with outside people. Yes, we cannot be alone, because when we're practicing bhakti, we have to be together. All festivals are together, all chanting is together, Mangal Arati is together, everything is together, Prasadam eating is also together, everything is together. So then making friendship, proper friendship. And friendship does not mean outside like gappa sappa. Friendship, Rupa Goswami again says in NOI that how to dadati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prashyati bhumkate bhojayate chaiva shadvidhi priti lakshanam. There should be priti lakshan. We should be giving, we should be taking, we should be revealing our confidential things to him, and then and for that, friendship does not mean that we have to have equal friendship with everyone. No, there are some best friends, and there are like we are never envious to them, and we are very much favorable to them, whatever they say. So some people are very close to us, and we really deal with them very nicely, and some people are farther, so we respect them. So this is the meaning of that. We respect, we understand what is their position. We don't criticize. So he is a sincere friend to all the devotees of the Lord. He shows mercy to the ignorant people who are innocent and non-blasphemous. Again, to the disastu, those who are those who are envious, blasphemous, to them he does not show his mercy. Basically, he does not go near to them. But those who are innocent, Baliseshu, to them he preaches. To those who are ready to listen, this is also important. Therefore, it is many times told, don't fight. Many times in preaching, sometimes we start fighting. So then, if we are not at advanced stage, so then our faith may also get weakened, because we may start criticizing so much that his criticism may also enter in our mind. Okay, he was saying this thing, maybe it is true, maybe Lord is not like that, maybe devotees are not like that. So these kind of thoughts may also enter, and then the Madhyamadikari, for him to keep faith will be difficult. So therefore he keeps distance from them. So yes.
So Prabhu, can you show the point number 1? Actually, I missed to note actually.
Offers his love to the Supreme Personality of Godhead first.
Okay, Prabhu. Yes.
He offers his love to Supreme Personality of Godhead. And now he knows that Lord is everywhere. He knows Lord is everywhere. He cannot see. See, he cannot see Lord, but he knows. There is a difference between knowing and seeing. He cannot see soul in the body of everyone. No. But he knows everyone is a part and parcel of God. Like Srila Prabhupada teaching, everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. So we know through knowledge. We cannot see right now. We cannot see means we cannot see everyone as like a soul. This is a stage Madhyamadikari cannot see right now, but he knows. Okay. Then disregards those who are envious. Yes. So envious, he disregards them. He does not waste his time. Many times it has happened. But Prabhupada, why Prabhupada is to defeat? Prabhupada was the Uttama. He has come to Madhyama to preach. So he's coming from up to down is different, and somebody going from Kanishta to Madhyama is different. Madhyam, who has gone from Kanishta to Madhyama, he can fall down because of lack in faith, and then then start believing in the words of atheist. But the Uttama, he can never fall down. So he just comes down to preach and then again go. So like that. See, he keeps distance from envious, but meditates upon the ways to save them. How to save them. He keeps on meditating upon those ways. We'll not go much in detail because you'll be learning them these things further also. So we'll just see. Now, okay, who can read? Sundari Palika Devi Dasi Mataji. Can you read?
Yes, Prabhuji, I can try. Above the Madhyama Adhikari is the Uttama Adhikari, sees everything in relation to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee does not discriminate between an atheist and a theist, but sees everyone as part and parcel of God. He knows that there is no essential difference between a vastly learned Brahmana and a dog in the street, because both of them are part and parcel of the Lord. Although they are encaged in different bodies on account of different qualities of their activities in their previous lives, he sees that the Brahmana particle of the Supreme Lord has not missed his little independence given him by the Lord, and that the dog particle has misused his independence and is therefore being punished by the law of nature by being encaged in the form of dog. Not considering the respective action of the Brahmana and please scroll it up.
And the dog, the Uttama
Hare
Adhikari.
Krishna.
Yes.
Not considering the respective action of the Brahmana and the dog, the Uttama Adhikari tries to do good to both. Such a learned devotee is not misled by material bodies, but is attracted by the spiritual spark within them.
Yes. So this is very, very important. Uttama Adhikari, he does not see material body. He does not see material body means what? Prabhupada very clearly mentions that he sees that somebody is Brahmana and somebody is a dog. Like we know from Gita verse that Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavi Hastani Suni Cheva Sapakecha Pandita Samadarshina. Now Pandita Samadarshina, he's seeing soul in all the living beings. In their heart, the soul is there. Okay. Now he's also seeing how he is discriminating the material body in this way. Just see, he's seeing the Brahmana particle means the soul in the Brahmana body. He has not misused his little independence given by the Lord, and the dog particle has misused his independence, and so he's in this body of dog. It's not that he's not seeing only, but he's seeing how he's seeing. We have to understand. He's seeing is in this way in relation with the Lord fully. That Brahmana, he has used his independence in service of the Lord. And the dog, he has misused his independence by doing sense gratification or sinful activities. So in this way, he's seeing. So this is very, very important. And generally the Gyanis, those who are Gyanis, they may only see the Atma. But they may not see the connection with the Lord, independence point of. This independence thought does not come. They may only see the soul, aham brahmasmi, that much. But what is the difference between Jnani and then Uttama Bhakta is this. He is seeing in connection with the Lord. And this verse is talking about seeing in connection with the Lord, not simply seeing as a soul. So seeing in connection with the Lord. So Madhyama, he also saw that all are living part, they are all part and parcel of the absolute truth or supreme personality of Godhead. And some of them are devotees, so I have to make friendship. Some of them are envious, I have to remain away. And some of them are innocent, I have to preach to them. So like that. He is also seeing in connection with the Lord. And Uttama, he can directly see the soul. Now the Sukadeva Goswami, while he was passing, when he wanted to go away from his father, so he's come in the first canto. So they were with the women, they were bathing, and he was 16-year-old boy, and they were bathing naked in some pond. And the Sukadeva Goswami did not get agitated. And even these women who were bathing, they did not cover their body. And when behind the Sukadeva Goswami, Ved Vyas came to just call him back to the home because he was running away. Putra, Putra, he was saying, Putra, Putra, please come back, please come back. But Sukadeva Goswami was not listening, just going ahead. Now, when he asked the woman that why did you not cover your body when you saw him, and when you saw me, you covered the body. So then they said that your boy does not know what is woman, what is man. He cannot see only. He is only seeing the soul. But you are a family man, you have to discriminate. Even though Vedvas was also a liberated soul, but because he was a family man, so he had to discriminate between male and female. So therefore, they covered the body. Those Uttama Adhikari, they don't see the difference in the body, but they know that this person has misused the independence and this person has used the independence properly. They know it. And so therefore, those who are misused, he may try to preach also to them. It is possible, okay, because he can see some are this much near to God, some are this much near, some are, means they are farther far. So he may try to bring them up. But he's seeing everyone as a soul. Okay, so we'll go ahead. Topmost devotee, Uttama Adhikari. Okay, one who is expert in logic and in understanding the revealed scripture, and who always has a firm conviction and deep faith that is not blind, is to be considered topmost devotee in devotional service. Chaitanya Charitamrita, and also Bhakti Shastri. Expert in logic, yukti, it is called yukti, and understanding the revealed scripture. He knows the revealed scriptures. So he is very well learned in the scripture, and he can convince anyone also. Madhyama may not be able to convince, but he can convince. Yes, some people don't want to get convinced. For them, okay, nothing to say. But he can convince with all authorities of the Vedas, with all logics, everything. And who has formed deep faith in the Lord. He has deep faith. He does not, like somebody asked Prabhupada, if at the end of the life, you come to know there is no Krishna only, there is no form of Krishna, what will happen? Srila Prabhupada said, okay, what we are doing now, we are chanting, dancing and eating prasadam. This is very happy life for us. So we are still enjoying here in devotional service. But I will ask you a question. If you come to know there is Krishna after your death, then what will happen to you? If you have just misutilized your free will, and you have done all the sinful activities, and at last you come to know there is Krishna, then what will happen? You will go to Narak, and then you will be beaten here and there, and then you will be given birth into the animal species. So who is at loss? So in this way, Srila Prabhupada convinced him. He has full faith. Krishna is there. Krishna's abode is there. And we all have to go back to that abode. He has seen the abode also. He's seeing in his meditation. He knows that there is the abode of Krishna. He has no confusion. So this is called, because see, like sometimes it is told, experience is the best teacher. Means when you have experienced something, you cannot have doubt. So pure devotees, while chanting, while doing devotional service, these Uttama Adhikari, so they have experienced bhakti. They've experienced the tattva. So who can cheat them? They will say, what you're talking? I am seeing every day. And you foolish, you don't know. And you're just a bakar. No Shastra conviction. So better you follow. So therefore, they try to convince and they will preach to anyone, atheist, theist, anyone they can preach. Because they are fully confident of the absolute truth. And the most expensive vision, the advanced devotee sees within everything the soul of all souls, the Supreme Personality. Consequently, he sees systematically everything in relation with the Lord. Okay. We'll go ahead. Prahlad Maharaj, he was asked, is there your God? God is there in pillar? Then he said, yes, Vishnu is there in the pillar. And Hiranyakashipu did not see. But when he broke the pillar, then what happened? So therefore it is said, for atheist, God comes like death. And for theist, God comes in the form of a deities so that we can worship, or in form of scriptures so that we can read. So for theists, those who have faith in God, God will come in many forms so that we can advance in bhakti. But for atheists who will never believe God is there, God will come. Do not worry, God will come. And since God comes at the time of at the mrityu sarva haraschaham, kalo asmi. So like a kala, he will create death for him. Okay. And this is another thing. Premanjana churata bhakti vilochanena santah sade hridayesu vilokayanti. Brahma Samhita says that pure devotees, because they have salve of love with the what we call Jnananjana, Anjana. Anjana. So Anjana, they have put on their eyes the Anjana of love, so they are able to see Lord everywhere. Somebody asked, do pure devotees see Lord everywhere? So Srila Prabhupada say, no, it's not like that. They see everything in relation with the Lord. Like then he said, if you see my specs, what do you think? It's a Prabhupada specs. So when they see everything, when they see everyone, everything, and then they connect, they know that what is the relation with the Lord. So they see in this way. So this is a constant phenomena with them. They may not be able to see everywhere the Lord, okay, but they are seeing everything in connection with the Lord. Srila Prabhupada used to say. Offer respect even to a demon. Okay. Okay, in Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, this is said, Artho, Jigyasu, Artharthi, Gyani cha Bhartar Sabha. So these four kind of people who are Sukritina, they come to Krishna, they surrender. So these all are neophyte devotees. Srila Prabhupada mentions in the Bhakti Rasam Sindhu, because they had certain desire while they were approaching the Lord. And then they advanced to the pure devotional. Like Dhruv Maharaj, he became pure devotee. But in beginning, he was Artharthi, means he was coming with the desire for having a kingdom greater than his great-great-grandfather. Yeah. So he wanted that big kingdom. So therefore, he was having some artha, some dhan, some opulence he wanted, some riches he wanted. Gajendra, he was suffering. So he called for the Lord in beginning. But later, he was purified. And Jigyasu, sages of Naimisaranya, and Gyanis, four Kumaras. Jigyasu means they want to know about the soul, about the Lord. And Gyanis, they know about the soul, but they want to know about the Supreme Lord, absolute truth. So that is a difference. So then four Kumaras, they are also like it is said in the beginning, when they were not devotees, they were neophyte. Just see, by understanding this thing, we can understand what is the stage of neophyte devotee also. Means Kanishta Adhikari ka stage ye kya hai. Now all these people were Kanishta at the beginning, and they advanced also very quickly. Like sages of Naimisaranya, by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, they also became advanced immediately. And the Gyan, they also became advanced. The four Kumaras, they went to Vaikuntha Loka and they saw the Lord, everything. So they immediately became mesmerized by smelling the tulsi smell coming from the tulsi put on the lotus feet of the Lord. So they were mesmerized. Who is this personality? So they became devotee very soon. Dhruv Maharaj, within 6 months, transformed. Gajendra, some prayers, transformed. So all these became advanced Uttama. But how? They began with neophyte and they advance. So it is said that the neophyte is also so important because he's approaching Lord, even though he may have some material things lagging, lurking in his heart. Okay. We'll go ahead. Yes, Yamuna Vilas, can you read?
Yes, sure, could. Anukaran. Imitation of Uttam Adhikari is discouraged. Those who imitate an Uttam Adhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform, are actually false philanthropists. The conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from an Uttam Adhikari and not from a foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul or the Supreme Lord's supersoul expansion, who dwells everywhere.
Okay. So at last, after reading all these three, what we may understand, okay, now I have to become Uttama. So Uttama means seeing everyone equal, oneness. So now this Srila Prabhupada is now telling, those who imitate as an Uttamadhikari by flaunting a sense of oneness or fellowship, but who behave on the bodily platform are actually false philanthropists. That okay, we have to unite all Indian people together. So then what to do? Because in India, many people, they worship different gods. So how to, and like Muslims, they have Allah, one God. Christians, they have one God. Okay, Hindus, they. So then they thought, okay, now let us tell that only there is one God. One God is there, and you have imagined many forms of the gods, but that God is Brahman, impersonal. And whatever forms you are worshipping, that is for temporary, to develop attachment for that Brahman. So these people preached impersonalism during their time, actually. So Srila Prabhupada is telling, many times the people want to unite their groups, so they concoct certain, like Gandhiji, he started the Harijan movement. Okay, Harijan, everybody is Harijan. But he did not preach spirituality. He wanted them to bring them together on the material platform. Okay, Hindu, Muslim, come together. But again, we saw he was not successful. So we cannot assume everyone to be equal on material platform. This is very clear. After telling the three stages, Kanishtha, Madhyama, Uttama, now Srila Prabhupada is saying that this kind of oneness to bring about on the bodily platform is false philanthropist. The conception of universal brotherhood must be learned from Uttam Adhikari and not from foolish person who does not properly understand the individual soul or the Supreme Lord Super Soul expansion. So like tiger and human, both we can embrace human, but we cannot embrace tiger because he is differently situated. His material status is different, and if we embrace them, so in the similar way, like Varnashram, people are divided according to their Varna and Ashrama. Okay, Brahmana has certain duty, Kshatriya has certain duty, Vaishya has certain duty, and Sudra has certain duty. So why they were not kept equal? No, they were allowed to practice spiritual life equally, because ultimately Haritoshnam, we have to satisfy the Lord, and there is no description. You satisfy according to your work, and work is maybe different, but you satisfy the Lord. So the society division was also meant in that way, that okay, Brahmana will live together, Kshatriya will live together, Vaishya and Shudras. They are all society, means these people have different places for living also. Yes. And they were contributing to the whole society. So materially, everyone cannot be one. And this is also creating problem in today's time. We can see like man-woman equality is also coming. A man education also. To talk about this is a different thing. Now the Vedic culture about to get finished. So people don't accept this truth. So one time, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, he went to one marriage party. And then the security, he told her, stop here. This place is not for poor people or very simple people. This is for elite people. Please go back. Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar said, oh, I have a relationship with these people and they are my friend. I am going to their marriage ceremony. What is the problem? Then they said, no, this is for allied people. And then he went back, and then nice suit, coat, everything. And then he came, and then this person offered salam, salute, and then he took him inside. And then this Ishwar Vidyasagar, he started taking the feast of marriage there. And then he was feeding his coat pant. We were putting gulab jamun in, or what you call pakoras in the pockets. So some people saw them, asked me, what you're doing? Are you mad? So then he said, no, because in your society, who is a person? A person, I am the same person who came sometime before, he did not allow. But when I wore nice hat, nice suit, and then pant, and then shoes, so then he allowed me. So for him, who is the important person? This coat. So I am feeding this coat. So this is the thing. So actually, people in material life, they also see this thing. See, all people are equal, but he's not able to see. He's seeing the distinction. And when we see the distinction, we don't. We should not see the difference between people. We should not see the difference between Hindu, Muslim. We should see the difference between soul and body. Okay, soul is important, body is less important. But this person was seeing difference between what? Different people. So this is the knowledge. Knowledge means to see the difference between soul and body, not to see the difference between body, which are not important at all. Like Japanese, they also preach. They sell their products by saying, we are you, you are we, and so we are all together. So better purchase our product. We are you are we, and product. So how much impersonalism has come? Just see. In preaching is there. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Kshetragya api cha vidhi, mam vidhi, sarva kshetreshu bharata. He clearly says that I am also Kshetragya. Cha, Kshetragyam, cha means and. You are Kshetragya and I am also Kshetragya. So Krishna is saying, I am separate from you, but I am also the knower of Kshetra. So therefore, don't think yourself to be with me. We are both separate identity. So understanding of oneness, and so part is part and whole is whole. This we have to understand. It's not that we are all together. It means it's a false oneness. So we'll go ahead. Yes. Who can? Yes. Braj Kumar Govind Prabhuji, can you read?
Which one? It is clearly from here?
Yeah, this is, it is, yes, from here. It is clearly mentioned. Yes.
It is clearly mentioned in the sixth mantra that one should observe the systematically see. This means that one must follow the previous acharya, the perfected teacher. Anupasyati is exact Sanskrit word used for in this connection. Anu means to follow, and pasyati means to observe. The word anupasyati means that one should see things as he does with the naked eye, but should follow the previous acharya. Due to material defect, the naked eye cannot see anything properly. One cannot see properly unless one has heard from a superior source. And the highest source in the Vedic wisdom, which is spoken by the Lord himself. Vedic truths are coming in disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, from Brahma to Narada, from Narada to Vyas, and from Vyas to many of his disciples. Formerly, there was no need to record these messages of the Vedas because people in earlier ages were more intelligent and had sharpest memory. They could follow the instructions simply by hearing one from the mouth of a bona fide spiritual master.
Okay. So Srila Prabhupada mentions about Anupashyati. Anupashyati means to follow the teachings of Acharya. And with that knowledge, we have to see. not from now. Why Prabhupada mentions about this here? Because here he has said somebody who is false person or false philanthropist, he wants to preach about the oneness. We should not hear from him. We should hear from acharyas. Therefore, it is said anupashyati. We have to also follow oneness, but not hearing from false philanthropists or wrong people. और पॉलिटिशियंस और हिंदू मुस्लिम सभी एक हैं, सर्वधर्म समा, सभी धर्म बराबर हैं. अभी क्या हो गया? अभी सेकुलर हो गया है, अभी कुछ धर्म ही नहीं है. अर्लियर इट वाज सर्वधर्म समा, सभी धर्म बराबर है, सभी धर्म बराबर है, लेकिन when people will follow their dharma, so all religion not equal. We also know all paths cannot be equal. How can all paths be equal? Like one time Srila Prabhupada went to Gita Samiti, and then there was no picture of Krishna. So he said there should be some picture of Krishna, because any meeting you are holding about Gita, or like if you hold some meeting about some person, his picture will be there. Like if there is memorial for Gandhiji, so then Gandhi's picture will be there. Yeah. So in the similar way, Gita, you are talking about Gita, some picture should be there of Krishna. So they said, okay, we believe in impersonalism. Srila Prabhupada said, where it is said impersonalism? Where it is said that all path leads to same goal? Where it is said in Gita? Please tell me. So then this person, one of the person got up. Prabhupada was telling to them, one of the person got up, and then he said, Swamiji, why are you criticizing? Because there were some Mayavadi also sitting and they were giving lectures. So Srila Prabhupada was angry that these Mayavadis, they are sitting and they are not keeping Krishna's picture, and they are just bluffing from Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita says this thing, Bhagavad Gita says that. The Prabhupada became angry and he said, where it is written in Bhagavad Gita that Krishna, God is a Nirakar, God has no form, and so they have not kept any here picture. So then one person got up and said, Swamiji, why are you finding fault? A sadhu should not find fault. And then Srila Prabhupada checkmated him. He asked one verse from Bhagavad Gita. It comes, it is 6.9 verse. I'll just share with you. सुहृन् मित्रारि उदासीना मध्यस्था देवेश्य बन्धुषु साधुषु अपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर् विशिष्यते. Srila Prabhupada asked him, see, this verse comes from Bhagavad Gita. A person is considered still further advanced when he regards honest well-wishers, affectionate benefactors, the neutral meditators, the envious friends, enemies, and the pious and the sinner with all equal mind. He considers everyone with an equal mind. So then Prabhupada asked him, okay, somebody is getting Parambir Chakra by fighting against the opponent country. Okay, so now he is a person and another person is doing murder. So both are equal. Can you see? So when Prabhupada quoted this verse, and then he asked him, okay, I am not seeing. Can you see? This person who questioned Prabhupada. Then this person said, I think Vedavyas has done some mistake actually in writing this Veda. And Prabhupada became more angry. First you did not listen what I am saying, and then now you are questioning even Vedavyas also. Huh? So see, these people, they don't have faith in anyone. They have simply faith in sense gratification. Huh? Somehow their words should fit somewhere and they should be able to do their sense gratification nicely. Nobody should object them. That is their whole purpose. So Srila Prabhupada then made him understand what is the meaning of it actually. Meaning of it is like anybody who is a sinner, he has to be stopped. He said, see, I am equal to everyone in the sense that I am seeing the spiritual potential in everyone. So I am trying even go to the foreign to preach this Krishna conscious message. So I want to give this Krishna consciousness, which is the science of bringing living entity near to the God. So I am not discriminating who is a Muslim or who is a Christian or who is a foreigner, who is Indian. I am not discriminating. I am giving to everyone. Yes. But I am objecting those people who are not preaching the right message from the scriptures. Like somebody is sick, and if you don't care for him, then you say that, okay, anyway, either sick or non-sick, both will become okay one day. So then he will die. He has to be given some medication. Yes. Is it true? So there are two things are there from teacher's point of view and from the student point of view. See, any student, he has to gain knowledge, he has to go to the proper teacher, see which teacher is having more advanced knowledge, I will go to him. From teacher's perspective, he can teach anyone. Yes, he will tell, okay, all of you are beginners, so somebody can Muslim or Christian, whatever you are, you have to learn. You have zero knowledge, so better learn. So teacher can teach. So oneness can be seen from the side of teacher, but not from the side of students. Students have to see who is the proper guru, who is the proper teacher, what he is teaching, all these things. But the teacher, he can teach, he can see the oneness. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, ki, I am seeing the oneness, that there is a spiritual spark in everyone and they have potential to become devotees. They have potential to do some Krishna consciousness. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada tissue paper. Srila Prabhupada said in the lecture, he was giving lecture, just see, everyone has tendency to serve. Everything is all right. I kept tissue paper. He also likes to serve. He just kept some tissue paper. So everyone has a spiritual potency to do some service to Krishna, and so the pure devotee, they see that and they kindle that spark, the fire. So this is the one thing. But other people, what they will say? They will say, no, 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 everyone is equal. Don't discriminate. Don't fight. Sab chupchap rakho. Sab hum equal hai. So then they are trying to bring equality on material platform. Okay, countries should not fight. Why they should not fight? Countries should not fight because we are equal. We are equal. But are you seeing the equality in this way, in connection with the God, that we are, yes, we should live like a children of God, we should follow Krishna. Are we seeing in that way? No, we are seeing we should maintain peace in the society, so we don't fight. We are all equal. Man to man, we are all equal. Otherwise, religion all equal. Otherwise, fight will happen. So these are all material equality they are trying to spread, which is not correct. But when this spiritual equality will be spread, then the second thing is going to come, that we will focus more on spiritual aspect than on material. And that time we will remain quiet. Like even in devotion service, like many foreigner devotees are there. Earlier, many people have, or some devotees have conception that foreigners are some different species only. We are different species. But when we became devotee, we don't discriminate more. He is also devotee, he is also chanting, he is also reading. So we focus on spiritual aspect, then material aspect. So when we hear from the right person, Uttamadhikari, what is spiritual oneness, and then we keep spiritual aspect higher than the material aspect, then we can solve the problem of the world. Not that bringing everything together and telling everything is equal and having no spiritual aspect. This is important thing. So anupashyati. So we have to follow the acharya parampara, not speculate. We also know the seeing is not believing. No need to say much. So anupashyati does not mean simply seeing. Anupashyati, follow in the acharya parampara and then see. Okay. Mukund Pad Prabhuji, can you read?
Okay, brother. So at present, there are many commentaries on revealed scriptures, but most of them are not in the line of Srila Vyasdev, who originally taught the Vedic wisdom. The final, most perfect and sublime work of Srila Vyasdev is the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the correct commentary on the Vedanta Sutra. Similarly, there is the Bhagavad Gita, which is spoken by the Lord Himself and which was recorded by Vyasdeva. These are the more important of the many revealed scriptures, and any commentary which does not conform to the principles of the Gita or the Srimad Bhagavatam is unauthorized. There is complete symmetrical agreement between the Upanishads, Vedanta, and the Vedas, the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, no one should try to reach any conclusion about the Vedas without being instructed by members of line of Vyasdeva, or at least those who believe in the personality of Godhead and his diverse energies.
as they are explained in Sri Ishopanishad. Okay. So this Anupashyati, again Prabhupada is saying, don't misinterpret or read the books of misinterpreted books and then have a misconception. So therefore, like Swami, okay, Vivekananda, he used to say that why you are watering tulsi, you should water eggplant, because eggplant will give some vegetable for eating. So Srila Prabhupada used to say, like a dog, he passes urine on tulsi, because he does not discriminate what is tulsi or what is anything. In the similar way, this mentality is like that only, doggish mentality. He does not know only. He thinks that why we are worshipping God, better, why you are opening temples, better open place for football match. See, and these Swamis, from where they have got the knowledge, no scripture reading, still they have become so famous. We can find so famous. Photos are there, so famous. And from where they have got? No Anupashyati, only Pashyati, no Anupashyati. So Vishnu Tattva Nirnaya, he argues about one thing that is called Veda. Whatever the Vedas says, the Vedas like Puranas are there, which are Smriti Shastra, Nyaya Shastra are there, Shruti Shastra, all these Shastras, whatever they say, they are consistent in one message. I mean, one message is only there. They are not saying so many messages. But those who read not in Parampara, they may get some other message. That is what Srila Prabhupada is saying here. Or they may read some other books which are not in Parampara. So, like somebody said in the Vedas, you can eat meat. But eating meat is a concession given to those who are attached to eating meat. It is not instruction given that, okay, everyone should eat meat. Or it is very healthy for everyone. No need to discriminate whether you're Brahmana or Kshatriya or whatever, higher, lower family. Everyone can eat meat because it is very healthy, high protein diet. The doctors, they say like that. Okay. So from where they have got the knowledge? So Veda Eka Vakyata. So all the Vedas they say the same thing. One time, Bhakti Swami Maharaj, he came to Srila Prabhupada, and then he said that because he was from Africa, so then that time black and white lot of tussles were there. So then devotees also they were doing. So then he said that Prabhupada, they are not taking or accepting all of us. They are discriminating between black and white. So Srila Prabhupada said that, so you also consider them as a white and you consider yourself black. So what is the difference between them and you? What is the difference? They are saying you are black and you are considering yourself black, and you are considering them as white. So what is the difference between both of you? There's no difference, because you are not keeping the higher spiritual perspective. So there differences are there, sure. Differences are there, but what you are saying, what you are Anupashyati, are you Anupashyati? No, you are not Anupashyati. You're not Ekatvam Anupashyati. You're not saying that we are all children of God, and by practicing devotional service, we come closer to the Lord. So all these differences, they become all dissolved when we start practicing devotional service. So we focus more on our spiritual aspect than material aspects. So Srila Prabhupada, while preaching in Africa, so he told to devotees, you should preach to the African crowd, because Indian crowds were also there, but you should preach to them, because again you go to different country, preach to Indian only and say we are preaching a lot. You should preach to their country people also, because there are a lot of discrimination were also there. So they used to always think that these either Indians or these white people, they always consider us lower. So Srila Prabhupada said that, okay, no, keep the temple door open, let them come, let them participate in Kirtan. And then Prabhupada got good recognition in Africa because he did not discriminate between black and white. He focused on spiritual potential which they had, and he wanted to kindle that spark of spiritual potential so that they become devotees of the Lord. So this is the way he was seeing oneness. In Australia, when Srila Prabhupada went, our reporter asked that, what is the message for Australians? So he said that you all have forgotten God. So by loving God, you all will be happy. So this is my message. We know that Srila Prabhupada used to say the same thing. Just love God. Just I have come here in your country to teach you how to love God. I have not come here to change you from Christian to devotee or from Muslim to devotee. You can be, but whatever religion you are, you just follow. You try to love God. So like that he used to teach. This is again to see the oneness. Okay. According to Bhagavad Gita 18.54, only one who is already on the liberated platform, Brahma Bhuta, can become Uttamadhikari devotee and see every living being as own brother. This vision cannot be had by politicians who are always after some material gain. One who imitates the symptom of Uttamadhikari may serve another's outward body for the purpose of fame or material reward, but he does not serve the spirit soul. Such an imitator can have no information of the spiritual world. The Uttamadhikari sees the spiritual soul within the material body and serve him as a spirit. Thus, material aspect is automatically served. Yes. Again, Srila Prabhupada mentions who is the Uttamadhikari liberated. Brahma Bhut, after that, Uttama. Brahma Bhut, he should be liberated from bodily platform, does not see only body. So one should not imitate. It is mentioned, one should not imitate, and one is to see in the relation. The next verse will tell more about it, how to see that. But we should not hear, it is more focused upon this also, that we have to hear in parampara, follow in parampara, and do not hear from politicians, and do not imitate also. So if you, without coming to the level of Uttamadhikari, if somebody is propagating the oneness formula among the people, not understanding how to do it, and trying to imitate like Uttamadhikari, like some people say that Gita says like this, so let us see everyone equal. Or this our guru used to see like everyone equal, so let us see everyone equal. So when they do what they do, ultimately they serve body, they forget the spirit, because they do not know only the knowledge of spirit and soul, spirit and the body. So they forget the soul and they simply serve the body. This is what we have seen. Like all Indians are together. If some Indian is suffering, what we should do? Give your money so that we can serve him. So basically, they are much concerned about serving to the poor. Open hospital, open schools. For what? To serve the poor, to serve the uneducated. What? What is this all? We want to see oneness. Everybody should be educated. India literacy rate should increase high. Okay, it is already increased now. Everybody is educated. But what changes we are finding after education? All the wrong things are there. So this is, we are serving body. We are serving body because we want to see everybody equal. Otherwise, somebody will say, I am not educated. You are educated. So you are higher than me. So we have this conception. And to finish this conception, we have thought a formula of oneness. Okay, oneness, we are all equal. Let educate everyone. Let make women and men equal. Let make all the parties equal. Equality. Because we cannot solve this problem of fight or disparity. So we try to bring unity in diversity without spirituality. Without seeing the soul in connection with God, we want to do that. And that is causing problem. That is causing problem here. So material welfare follows the spiritual welfare. Like we know the story of Migrari, how the Narad Muni, he was killing all the animals. So Narad Muni said, you break your vow, now you start chanting holy name. Migrari said, then who will feed me? He said, I will arrange for you, no, don't worry. Migrari followed Narad Muni. And then Narad Muni went to the village and said, Hunter, Migrari, he has become a very nice Vaishnava, he is chanting now, please provide some food for him. So all the village people, they started providing him food. And he was chanting, he was doing bhakti, and he was getting food. So this is by the inspiration of Narad Muni. So what it shows that how material welfare follows the spiritual welfare. When we keep spiritual life at above, so then the material life also becomes well aligned with it. That is what is happening with us. Like a spirit is there, If his spirit is there, then everything is going on properly. Yes. If his spirit is not there, then even though everything is right, that body will be put into the fire. Everything is right. नो किडनी फेल, मतलब किडनी भी अच्छा है, सब कुछ अच्छा है, बट स्पिरिट नहीं है उसके अंदर, उसको आग में फेंक दिया जाता है, खत्म. इट हैज नो वैल्यू. So spirit has to be kept into the picture, focus. Okay, so we have finished this sloka mantra. Any question? Yes, Dipali Mataji, yes.
Prabhuji, what is meant by secularism? Once I have read in Bhagavad Gita that secularism is increasing the atheistic mentality. So how can I understand?
Sarvadharma saman. So secular state, actually secular has a certain meaning, but they are not following it. According to our constitution has law that everybody is allowed to practice their own religion. Nobody will object them. If Hindu is there, he will practice Hindu religion. Muslim. But question is, who knows about their God first properly? What is written in the scripture first? And thirdly, whether how many people are really following it. So then now they have come to this stage that do not preach Bhagavad Gita in school, in colleges, in other institutes, because the people of other religion may be there and they may get offended. This is not the secularism actually, but they have understood in this way. Secular means now there should be no religious propaganda in any institutes. This is now secularism means. Now just see, if people are educated, and if some foreign person comes and he educates more, what problem they will be having? They will be more happy. Now we are getting more advanced knowledge, and some foreign person has come, or some foreign, or you can say some more advanced teacher has come. He is giving us more knowledge. So why the people should feel offended? If they are really understanding about religion and their religious propaganda, and somebody is teaching Bhagavad Gita, why the Muslim or Christian they should feel offended? It means there is no proper understanding of God only. So what is the meaning of secularism? Secular means they don't want any religious propaganda. It means every institute should have their manodharma. जो करना है करो. God की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Like one time we had gone to Bangalore for distributing Bhagavad Gita. So we went to KV, Kendriya Vidyalaya. So then they said, we don't give permission. You have to go to the central body. So go to the deputy commissioner of Bangalore. So we went there. So then this deputy commissioner was sitting, and we asked permission. He said, just see around me. Is there any picture of God? No. Today you are coming. Tomorrow Muslim will come. And next day Christian will come. How many people I will handle? So therefore I have kept myself free from all trouble. No picture of God. He's saying like that. I was thinking you're a fool person. You don't have brain to tackle these things. If really people are taught about religion, they will appreciate religion of each and everyone, and they will understand this religion takes us to which level. But there is no teaching of religion. People simply fight for religion. जैसे कुत्ते कुत्ते वो खाना के लिए दौड़ते हैं, तू उसका खा ले उसका खा ले. So that is not a way to eat food. सबको बताना है क्या तुम्हारे लिए, तुम अपना लो और समझो दूसरे एक दूसरे को. बट आज रिलीजन में झगड़ा होता है, कन्वर्जन हो रहा है. इसका मतलब nobody understand religion first, and religion cannot be understood without spirituality. Without spirituality means without having Vasudev conception. You can, therefore Ishavasam is telling here absolute truth. Without this, so therefore non-Vedic religion, they need some direction actually. They have to be pacified, and they should be given direction also where they have to go ahead. But if they remain stuck with their own understanding, so what to be said? Like a जिद्दी बच्चा क्या करेगा? वो बोलेगा मैं अपना ही काम करूंगा, मैं किसी को सुनूंगा नहीं. So this has caused a lot of problem actually. Okay. Yes, Shreyas Vachal Prabhu. Yes. What is the question?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
There are two words I've heard, Anukaran and Anusaran. So Anusaran means the same as Anupashyati, or how? Or they
Anusharan means Anukaran means imitate. Anusharan means to follow. So Anupashyati means to follow.
Okay.
Here it is not said by Prabhupada to imitate. Here
And
it is said to follow. Yeah.
And to follow I mean, how does it? How do we do that? I mean,
Yes, yes. The next verse is going to tell more about it. We'll discuss.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Arun Jaiswal Pro. Yes.
Like while telling about Kanishta you told that Kanishta has full faith in Krishna and he worships Lord. And at last, you also told that he has a tinge of jnana and karma impersonalist idea. So how to understand that he is having full faith and impersonalist idea?
See, full faith means according to him, he is having full faith. Here does not, I am not saying, therefore we showed a verse that Kanishta, Madhyama and Uttama Shraddha Adhikari. Means according to Shraddha, they are divided. The Kanishta has the lowest of Shraddha and Madhyama is higher and then highest is Uttama. What I mean to say that he does not have Shraddha in demigods. He does not have Shraddha. Now he has placed his Shraddha in Krishna. But his previous lingerings are there, previous habits are there, which are forcing him to think in certain way, to act in certain way. But he's not going to some Baba and learning something. Okay, I will go to Krishna temple. I will also go to some Baba and learn something. It's not like that. His faith is no. I will go to Krishna only. Guruji has said I have to come to Krishna temple. Nobody else. So I will go to Krishna temple only. I will surrender to him. This much faith he has. Like Dhruv Maharaj, Narad Muni said, "Are you are a kid. How can you attain Vishnu? Big yogis, they cannot find Vishnu." He said, "Narad Muni ji, if you are going to help me, please be here and help me. Otherwise, please get away. I will go and find my path." He said directly. So it is said he is like a neophyte. He wants to attain. He wants to attain because he heard from his mother. So it's like that. Okay. But his faith has to be more established through Shastra and his service in devotional service. His faith has to be more established. And again, scriptures readings. Yes.
Clearly understood, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. One
Okay.
more question. Like I have read that when an impersonalist or Jnani achieves perfection, so he merges into Brahma Jyoti, and devotees go back home, back to Godhead to serve Krishna in Golok Vrindavan. And what about Dhyan yogis? Like, what is their destination? Dhyan yogis who realizes Paramatma in the heart. Like, after realizing, where do they go and what do they achieve exactly?
You will read in second canto later.
So the second canto, I'm reading second canto. There, this question came, but it was not clear to me while reading that what happens to this Dhyan yogis.
Again, we have limited time. I'll just say a little bit. I'll say, Jnanis cannot attain Brahman realization without going through yoga path. Ultimately, they have to also follow the yoga path. And then from there, they meditate upon the Supreme Lord and they go. So this is the whole path. It's not that Jnani simply speculating they will go to Brahman. It's not possible. They have to accept the understanding that Absolute has a form. Absolute has a form. But they think that even though he has form, I want formless Brahman for myself. Then he goes to Brahman. If somebody thinks Absolute has no form, he cannot go only to Brahman realization. Means Brahman perfection he cannot get. He will fall down. Mayavadis, why Prabhupada say they will become trees? Because they have offended Krishna. Because these people will never accept that Krishna has form. And anybody who does not accept Absolute Truth as a form, he cannot achieve any perfection. Either Jnani or Yogi, anyone. They have to go through that. They will concentrate on Paramatma and they will ultimately decide, no, Paramatma I don't want. Okay, I want Brahman only. So they will go back to Brahman. And yogis, they want Paramatma, they will again go to the Paramatma, means Vaikuntha Lok. They get some Vaikuntha, and this discussion will be held later. But this much I will say. Okay, na?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Mataji, Doctor. Yes, Dr. Prerna Mataji. Yes.
Prabhuji, you were talking about the criticizing tendency. Does this criticizing tendency is an output of our superiority complex, considering oneself to be superior to others?
Yes.
Like considering oneself to be superior to others. That is the root cause of superiority complex, right? Criticizing tendency.
Yes, criticizing tendency. Yes, correct. Yes.
Okay. And second question is about, can we say that not following Guru's instruction or taking Guru's instruction lightly is also a Sahjiya mentality?
Not following Guru. Sahajiya mentality means basically bringing spiritual things to material platform.
Okay.
And then trying to behave like a very advanced devotee.
Okay.
So this is like Sahajiya thing. Like a spiritual master
Thank
doing
you.
something, and then we also start doing, and we don't have that platform, but we want to show that, okay, I have that much advancement. So this is, we can say, like bringing a spiritual thing to material platform. And criticizing criticizing is there. Until we become Uttam Adhikari, criticizing will not fully go away. That's why it is given specifically for a symptom of Uttam Adhikari. Criticizing is there, disease is there, and it will be cured at certain stage fully. But we have to cure it also, because fully means what? We don't want to say that unless I become fully healthy, I will not eat medicine. I have to eat medicine and keep getting cured slowly. So that is there. Okay.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Yes, Madhav, Harinam Prabhuji.
Krishna. In today's class, we discussed about that all the commentaries should coincide with Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. But there are many types of scriptures, like worshippers of demigod, they don't accept Krishna as God. So how they coincide with the philosophy? Because different scriptures, like those who are Saivas, they worship Lord Shiva, but they don't accept Krishna as God. But in Bhagavatam, Krishna is the supreme person. So how could we know this?
See, again, Upanishad, in Vedic literature also there is a gradation. Vedas may talk about lot of demigod worship, karmakand, but then above the Vedas, the Upanishads are considered as the head of the Vedas. They will tell how much we have seen now, or how many times we'll see later, even if you read other Upanishads also. Upanishad does not talk about demigod worship. They talk about absolute truth, our connection to him. So then they say that now we have done a lot through the Vedas. Now Upanishads are basically more important instructions taken out from the Vedas. So Vedas are directing to certain kind of people. They are like Vedas are called omniform, means they can satisfy everyone. Yes. So they are directing certain kind of people so that they will become religious. They will also come in the fold of religion and God. They will at least accept some authority like demigods, and then they will try to fulfill their desires by pleasing that demigod. But now after pleasing demigod, they understand, okay, I will ultimately go to demigod loka. Then where is my future then? Is there anything existing beyond this world? So then they have to know about absolute truth and Atma. So then Vedas also guide those people, those who come to that level. Okay, Upanishad, you come to Upanishad, now you connect to the absolute truth. So like that, their whole connection is there. And that's why it is said Anupashyati. You have to follow in the Acharya Parampara and then see the what Vedas are talking. Veda Ek Vakyata means one message is there, Vedas. That we have to love and serve the Lord, and to that reach to that stage, there can be many sub paths are there, but ultimately the Vedas are leading to one goal only. So in this way, we have to hear from the acharyas and understand what is the whole Vedas are talking about. Like Krishna says, Vedasya sarve aham eva vedya. Krishna himself says, all the Vedas are talking about me. Then you will ask how it is talking. Okay, because Krishna himself, his intention is to bring that person to himself, and he is writing the Vedas, or he is compiling the Vedas. So he knows how to bring this person to myself. Mam vartamano vartante manusya partha sarvasah. Everybody is following my path. Directly, indirectly, we are serving Krishna, every one of us. Krishna says in Gita. So these things are there. Somebody is advancing very quick, very fast, direct road, highway, and somebody is coming from small ways, and from jungle, from here, from there. But ultimately, the Vedas will make him reach. If he continues to follow the proper Guru and the Vedic literature, he will ultimately reach to Krishna. Naskarmya. We discussed earlier also from Bhagavatam Canto 12th. It is mentioned Naskarmya. Ultimately, he will reach to the Naskarmya by following the Vedic fruity path also. Okay. Now we'll go to the यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्य आत्मैव भूत अभिजानतः तत्र को मोहकः शोक एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः. In previous verse it was said, if somebody sees everything in relation with the Lord, and Lord in everything, he does not hate anyone. Now some more things are spoken. Same extension of the previous verse only. One who always see all living entities as spiritual spark, in quality one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? This is the verse. Yes. Yes, Dipali Mataji, can you read?
Translation. One who always sees all living entities as spiritual sparks, in quality, one with the Lord, becomes a true knower of things. What then can be illusion or anxiety for him? Purport. Except for the Madhyam Adhikari and Uttam Adhikari discussed above, no one can correctly see the spiritual position of a living being. The living entities are qualitatively one with the Supreme Lord, just as the sparks of the fire are qualitatively one with the fire. Yet sparks are not fire as far as quantity is concerned, for the quantity of the heat and light present in the sparks is not equal to that in fire. The Mahabhagavat, the great devotee, sees oneness in the sense that he sees everything as the energy of the Supreme Lord. Since there is no difference between the energy and the energetic, there is the sense of oneness. Although from the analytical point of view, heat and light are different from fire. There is no meaning of the word fire without heat and light. In synthesis, therefore, heat, light, and fire are the same.
Okay. Here, Srila Prabhupada is talking about equality aspect of energy and energetic, and living entity also qualitative oneness. Okay, these two things. So last verse we saw that how the pure devotee, he sees everyone equally. So when we see any driver or vehicle, say you see like a vehicle, you see the person inside it, yes, and kick why he has parked in front of my vehicle and start kicking and or breaking the window. So many times we try to do the sinful activity when we see that nobody is near to me, then I will do the sinful activities. So this is basically material vision. We think that nobody is watching me, okay, let me do, कोई बात नहीं, कुछ कर सकते हैं. But why it is again told here anupashyati or ekatvam anupashyati, you have to see everything in relation. So first that we have to understand that okay, law of karma is there. If I do something wrong, something wrong will happen. Now Ishopanishad is just imagining. Ishopanishad is taking us beyond that also. It's telling us that we have to see the relationship with Lord, not even like people say, no, preach morality to our children. They should not speak lie. They should not cheat others. So these are morality which are kept on the principle of law of karma. On that, teaching that how we have to see everything in relation with the Lord. That's all of Krishna. I should not trouble him because Krishna will be displeased. Absolute truth will be displeased. This is not my quota. I should not disturb others. So this is important. So not see the difference between one body and another, but we should see the difference between body and soul. Same principle. Now the complete realization of ekatvam, which we here in the verse it is said, ekatvam anupashyatah. It has two things which Srila Prabhupada mentions. First is in this verse, first paragraph. First, realizing our oneness in quality with the absolute truth. It brings detachment in us. Well, how? Because we know that I am not this body, I am detached from this world because nothing is useful for me. Ultimately, nothing is useful. So therefore, it brings a detachment. So when we see ourselves in quality with the Lord, so his quality is a Brahman, Para Brahman, and we are also Brahman. So it brings a detachment. And therefore, the Jnanis, they become very happy. Oh, nice, nice, nice. So Vedas are saying, basically, we become detached. Okay. Second, ekatvam, if you want to bring ekatvam, so second understanding is to quantity. We have to see our relationship with the Lord in quantity also. That we are very tiny and Lord is Vibhu and we are Anu. So we have to be subordinate to his will. So in the path of bhakti, this part is focused more than seeing in quality. You see, we are Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says what? Jivara Sarup hai Krishnera Nitya Das. It means we are servant. Servant considers which aspect? Basically, we are subordinate, we are smaller than Krishna, and so we are subordinate. So in quantity aspect, therefore it is said we have to serve Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, while preaching, while Sikshashtakam, he wrote a verse that na dhanam na janam na sundarim. It comes after Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi shahishuna amanina manadena kirtani hasadari. So this verse is of humility verse. And then detachment comes later. So he also mentioned that humility comes first and detachment later. So in our bhakti also, the humility is focused more because we are subordinate. Yes, you see, we world or the things we may be attached, but then what devotees they say? Krishna, take shelter of Krishna, surrender to Krishna. So that is what? Dependence on Krishna. And why I should surrender to Krishna? Because he is my well-wisher, he is supreme. So then the quantity aspect also is focused here. That we are small. We cannot protect ourselves by ourselves. We have to take shelter of Supreme Lord. Then only Maya will go away. So this is important. So the Jnanis, they focus more on the first aspect, quality. Oh, Aham Brahmasmi, I am Brahman. And then the further they think that I will become Brahman. I am Brahman. Right now I am not Brahman. I will practice and I will become Brahman. I will practice detachment and I will become Brahman. So then they may become proud. Yes, they may become proud. But devotees, they don't become proud because they focus as Jivara Sarupa hai Krishner Nityadas. So in this way, we see our oneness with the Lord, that I am servant. And in this verse, Srila Prabhupada is going to explain more down the line. So now it's 1 o'clock. In this para 1, Srila Prabhupada says about the Sakti and Sakti Man. Both are, so there is a Shruti mantra, Sakti, Sakti Matayor Abhedaha. There is no Veda, no difference in Sakti and Sakti Mata. But there is also Veda. So Shastras, sometimes they quote Bheda Vakya and Abheda Vakya. Abhed means there is no difference. Abhed means there is a difference. And Veda means there is, okay. Veda means a difference and Abhed means no difference. So Shastra, sometimes they say some Vakya or some examples which shows that there is no Bhed. And they say also some statements or some examples where there is a Bhed. But ultimately, in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, if you say Madhya Leela, I will just show you. Adi Leela 4.96 to 98. We'll open that. We'll just read that and we'll end. राधा पूर्ण शक्ति कृष्ण पूर्ण शक्तिमान दुई वस्तु भेदनाय शास्त्र प्रमाण दुई वस्तु भेदनाय शास्त्र प्रमाण Radha is a full power and Lord Krishna is the possessor of full power. The two are non-different as evident by the revealed scriptures. So they are non-different. Mrigamada tar gandha yaiche avicheda agni jwalate yaiche kabhu nahi bheda. They are indeed the same, just as the musk and its scent are inseparable, as the fire and its heat are non-different. So how Chaitan Charitamrita says, like fire and heat are non-different, they are together, and the musk, the scent, the musk, kasturi, mriga, the musk, the kasturi scent comes. So now the scent and the musk, they're not different. The scent is there with that element. So it's energy and energetic are together. Radha Krishna Aichesa the Eka Iswarupa Leela Rasa Aswadite Dhara Dui Rupa. Then why they have become separated? Thus Radha and Lord Krishna are one, yet they have taken two forms to enjoy mellows of pastimes. Now see, before here they were saying they are non-separable. Now they are saying they are separable now. They are separate now. So the same place Shastra sometimes for the purpose of some function has to take place. So then they will separate energy and energetic. Otherwise, they are same together. So this we have to always understand. There are Bhed Vakya, Abhed Vakya. Okay. So today we'll end here. Yes, any question anyone has? Or we have all discussed all the questions.
Prabhu, what is meant by Bhedavakya and Abhedavakya then?
Bhed means a difference. Energy and energetic, they are different. So you will find that's why we show na, like here, Radha Krishna are doing the pastimes. Okay, Ras Leela they are doing. The gopis and Krishna, they are like Krishna is going to the Barsana and then he's throwing the stone on the pots of the gopis. Now this pastimes is happening. Now somebody may say, "Oh, Krishna is the young girls. What is this?" But then Shastra will say, "Oh, they are the energy of Krishna. They are not separate. There is no separation between both." So then the Shastra will teach that time they are together. Because so now the pastime is showing they are okay, they are separate, they are doing nice pastimes. But then there are the Vakya, they will say they are not there together. Like just now we saw, there's no difference between heat and fire. So there's no difference only. So it is like that. So they are Ved and Abhed Vakya are there in the Shastra. Like yeah, these things, and therefore we have a Achinta Veda Ved. Our philosophy Achinta Veda Ved. That's why we are not neither follower of Veda nor follower of Abheda. We are follower of Achinta Veda Ved. We have accepted both, and so we are proper follower of Vedic literature. Achinta, you cannot understand. It's Achinta, inconceivable. That's why we read last shloka. Supreme Lord has inconceivable potencies. And that is why his definition becomes complete when you accept his inconceivable potencies. Sometimes you will not be able to see the Veda, but you have to understand the Lord is separate also and Lord is together also. According to his Leela, he sometimes shows this thing and that thing. Okay, we'll end here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Tomorrow is a festival. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur appearance or disappearance, I do not know, but so tomorrow Adi Bhagwan to what some information is there? Yamuna Vilas Prabhu?
Not yet, Prabhuji.
Okay.
No information.
So we will come to know. He will.
Okay, fine. Yeah, I will communicate in the group some information.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhu.